Welcome to Conversion Bible. Today we're digging deep into something absolutely vital for anyone running an online store, especially you folks on Shopify. We're talking about building trust.
That's right. It's the foundation, really.
Exactly. We've gathered a ton of insights on how things like, security badges, customer reviews, all those little signals tell visitors, hey, it's safe here, you can shop with confidence. Our mission today is simple. Figure out precisely what you need to do to make your Shopify store feel trustworthy, turning browsers into actual buyers.
Making that connection.
Yeah. And this deep dive is powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite helps you run smart discount campaigns on your store. You can test it free on Shopify. Just find it on the App Store now and give it a try.
Great tool.
So to kick things off,
Yeah.
why is trust such a hurdle for online stores compared to physical ones?
Well, it really boils down to the basics, doesn't it? In a real shop, you can, pick things up, talk to a person, get a feel for the place.
Right, that tactile experience.
Exactly. Online, all of that's missing. So customers are essentially taking a bit of a leap of faith. Trust has to fill that void.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And the speed they judge you at is just, wow. We're talking 0.05 seconds for that first impression.
Less than a blink. It's incredible.
And get this, only about half of brands are actually seen as trustworthy. So these tiny moments, these signals, they are so critical for a Shopify store's survival, let alone success.
Absolutely crucial.
So today, we'll explore the psychology behind it all, the real business impact, the different kinds of trust badges, there are quite a few, the huge power of reviews.
Oh, yeah. Reviews are massive.
Where to put these things, how to actually implement them on Shopify, making reviews work for you, testimonials, user-generated stuff, measuring if it's working, some advanced tricks, common slip-ups.
And even looking ahead a bit.
Right, and future trends too.
Yeah.
So let's start with that psychology. What's going on in a shopper's head when they land on your site?
It's fascinating, really. It's almost an instant subconscious scan. They're looking for clues. Is this place legit? Is my credit card safe? Is this product actually any good? That 0.05 second stat just hammers home how fast it happens. The main worries usually fall into three buckets. Payment security, the fear of getting hacked.
Definitely number one for many.
Then product quality, will it look like the picture? Will it work? And third, data privacy. What are they doing with my information?
Okay, yeah, those are the big anxieties. You're asking for money, for personal details, all through a screen. They need reassurance.
They absolutely do.
And it's interesting, different people probably worry about different things, right?
That's a really key point. You have to think about your audience. For instance, maybe a younger shopper, say Gen Z, looking at fashion, might be heavily influenced by seeing an influencer's post, real-world use.
Right, social proof.
Exactly. Whereas someone maybe older, buying something expensive, might put more weight on those official-looking security seals or a better business bureau accreditation. Culture plays a role, too.
So knowing your customer dictates which trust buttons to push. Okay, we get why it's important intuitively, but let's talk brass tacks. What's the actual business case here? How does trust affect the bottom line?
Okay, so this isn't just about warm, fuzzy feelings. Trust directly impacts your store's performance. Hard numbers. Think about this. Nearly 19%, almost 1 in 5 shoppers abandon their carts just because they don't trust the site with their credit card info.
Wow, 19%. That's a lot of lost sales walking out the virtual door.
It really is. And the flip side is just as compelling.
So how does building trust fix that?
Well, by putting these trust signals in the right places, you can see some pretty dramatic results. We're talking potential conversion rate increases of, say, 10%, even 30%, just from having visible security badges and good reviews.
10 to 30% lift just from that.
It's significant. And you can see cart abandonment rates drop by up to 20% if you put trust elements right there at the checkout.
Okay, hitting them at that crucial moment.
Exactly. And it goes beyond that first sale. Trust encourages people to spend more, maybe buy higher priced items. And crucially, it builds loyalty. You get higher customer lifetime value.
So investing time and maybe a bit of money in trust elements seems like it has a really high ROI. It makes you stand out too.
Definitely helps you compete. Trust is a differentiator.
All right, we get the why, now the what's. What kinds of trust badges should Shopify merchants know about? Let's break them down.
Sure. We can group them logically. First up, you've got security trust badges. Their job is to tell customers your connection is encrypted, your data is safe.
Like the little padlock icon.
That's the classic one, the SSL certificate padlock. But also badges from well-known security companies like Norton, Symantec, McAfee. Secure, they signal active protection.
Okay, security first. What's next?
Then you have payment method badges. These are basically the logos of the payment options you take. Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, Apple Pay, Google Pay.
The familiar faces.
Exactly. Seeing those logos provides instant comfort. Familiarity breeds trust. Also, things like Afterpay or Klarna now fit in here too.
Makes sense. If they take my preferred payment, they seem more legit. What else?
Next are third-party endorsement badges. These show that some independent group has checked you out and giving you a thumbs up. Think Better Business Bureau, Trust for Privacy, Google Customer Reviews.
Ah, so like an external stamp of approval.
Precisely. It carries weight because it's seen as objective.
Got it. Are there others?
Yep. We also have policy-specific badges. These highlight your friendly policies, reducing risk for the buyer. Things like a money-back guarantee seal or free shipping, free returns.
Those definitely lower the barrier to purchase. Makes it feel safer to try. And the last type.
Finally, industry-specific certifications. These depend entirely on your niche. Selling organic food. Show the organic badge. Beauty products. Maybe cruelty-free or vegan.
Tailored to your specific audience's values.
Exactly. They show you meet standards important to your customers. And just a quick note, visually, all these badges need to be clear, easy to spot, and ideally fit with your store's look and feel. Don't just slap them on.
Good point. Okay, that's a solid overview. Let's zero in on those security badges again. Payment security feels so fundamental.
It really is. And what's powerful about security badges is how directly they tackle that hesitation about typing in credit card numbers online.
Right.
Seeing something like a Norton or Symantec Secure badge tells the shopper your site is scanned for malware. McAfee Secure means you've passed security tests. Trust focuses specifically on privacy and data handling.
So they signify actual security actions being taken.
Correct. And then there's the absolute baseline, the SSL padlock and the HTTPS in the URL. That's non-negotiable these days.
Okay, so where do you put these for the best effect?
Placement is key. Think about contrast. Have light or dark versions so they stand out against your background. Size matters too, noticeable, but not obnoxious.
Not dominating the page.
Right. The crucial spots are near the checkout buttons. That's when security is top of mind and definitely in the footer of every page. It acts as a constant, subtle reassurance.
Makes total sense. Near the action and always visible somewhere.
Yeah.
How hard are these to actually get on the store? Is it super technical?
Well, the good news is Shopify handles the basic SSL certificate automatically for everyone. That's a huge plus.
Okay, so the padlock is built in.
Yes. For the third-party ones like Norton or McAfee, you usually sign up for their service. They give you a little bit of code, like a snippet of HTML.
And you paste that somewhere?
Yeah, you'd go into your Shopify admin, find your theme code online store, themes, actions, edit code, and paste it into the right file, like theme.liquid or maybe a specific template.
Okay, requires a little comfort with code potentially.
Potentially, but it's often straightforward copy-pasting. But here's a massive warning. Never use fake badges or ones nobody recognizes. That can destroy trust instantly if a savvy shopper notices. Authenticity is everything.
Crucial point, don't fake it. All right, let's switch gears to the payment method badges. How do those build confidence?
They tap into familiarity. When someone sees the Visa logo, or especially PayPal, which they already use and trust, it creates comfort.
Like seeing a familiar brand.
Exactly. The subconscious thought is kind of like, oh, they work with PayPal. They must be a legitimate business. PayPal's buyer protection reputation really helps here too.
So it leverages the trust people already have in those payment brands. Which ones are most important to show?
Definitely the major credit cards. Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover. PayPal is almost essential. Digital wallets like Apple Pay, Google Pay are increasingly expected. And don't forget buy now, pay later options Afterpay, Klarna, ShopPay installments, showing those signals flexibility, which can also build trust.
Could cover the main bases, and where do these logos go?
Similar logic to security badges, but maybe even more widespread. The footer is standard for showing all accepted methods. On product pages, putting key ones near the price or add to cart button works well.
Little reminders.
Yep. Also important on the cart page, just before checkout, and definitely clearly visible on the checkout page itself, reinforces the options and security.
And mobile visibility.
Critical. Make sure they're sized properly for small screens. Shopify usually makes adding these really easy in the theme or checkout settings, often just checking boxes for the providers you've enabled.
Nice and simple. Okay, moving on to something incredibly powerful. Customer reviews. I know I personally rely on them heavily. Why are they such a big deal?
The stats are pretty staggering. Something like 90% of shoppers read reviews before buying. 90%.
Wow, almost everyone.
And get this, Products with just 5 reviews are 270% more likely to be bought than those with none. 270%.
Just 5 reviews makes that much difference.
It's huge. And for more expensive items, the boost can be even bigger, up to like 380% higher conversion with reviews. It's pure social proof in action.
Mind-blowing numbers.
Yeah.
So what are the best ways to actually use reviews on your store?
You want a mix. Star ratings are great for a quick visual summary right at the top. Written testimonials give that deeper insight, answering specific questions buyers might have.
The detailed feedback.
Right. Photo and video reviews are gold for authenticity, seeing real people with the actual product. And adding a verified purchase badge next to a review, that's crucial for credibility. It tells people this review is from someone who actually bought it.
A verified badge definitely makes me trust a review more. Are there specific Shopify apps that help with this?
Oh yeah, lots of great ones. Judge.me is super popular, very solid, even has a free plan. Looks is fantastic if you really want to push for photo and video reviews.
Visual focus?
Exactly. Okendo offers more advanced stuff like rating specific product features. Stamped is known for being user-friendly. Yotpo is a bigger, more enterprise-level platform with tons of features, often at a higher price point.
So options for different needs and budgets.
Yeah.
But just having the app isn't enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get customers to actually leave reviews?
That's the million-dollar question. You need a strategy. Automated emails after purchase asking for feedback are standard practice.
Follow-up email?
Yep. Offering a small incentive, like a 10% off coupon for their next order, can really boost response rates. Make the submission process super simple. Fewer clicks, the better.
Reduce friction.
Definitely. And maybe send one polite reminder email if they don't respond initially. And interestingly, don't be afraid of negative reviews.
Really? Why is that?
Well, a few negative reviews actually make the positive ones seem more believable. It shows you're not hiding anything. Plus, how you respond to a negative review is a huge opportunity to show off great customer service.
Turning a negative into a positive showcase. Smart. Okay, we've got our Trust Tools badges, reviews. Now, the million-dollar question. Where do we strategically place them on the site for maximum effect?
Placement is everything. You can have the best trust signals, but if they're buried, they won't work. Let's think page by page. On the home page, you want to establish credibility fast.
First impressions again.
Exactly. Put security badges in the footer that's expected. Maybe show your overall store star rating or total review count near the top, near the header. Feature a couple of really strong customer testimonials prominently.
Showcase the best feedback.
Right. And if you've got any as seen in media logos or awards, the homepage is the place for those too.
Okay, building that initial confidence. What about product pages?
Here, it's all about this specific item. Star ratings and the number of reviews need to be super visible, right near the product title or price. Put those security and payment badges near the Add to Cart button.
Address security right before they commit.
Precisely. And those policy badges, free shipping, easy returns, put them near the price too. It reduces perceived risk. And if you have user photos or videos for that product, feature them prominently.
Makes the product feel more real. What about the cart and checkout pages, the final steps?
Absolutely critical stages. Make payment logos highly visible. Put security badges right near the credit card fields. Use reassurance messaging like secure SSL checkout.
Constant reinforcement.
Yes. And even a quick reminder of your money-back guarantee right there can push someone over the edge if they're hesitating.
Good tip. Now, mobile is huge. Any specific advice for placing trust elements on mobile?
Yeah, mobile is tricky with less space. You have to prioritize. Show only the most impactful signals. Ensure badges are readable, not tiny. Maybe use expandable sections like accordions for things like detailed reviews so they don't clutter the main view.
Keep it clean.
And test on different devices. What looks good on an iPhone might break on an Android tablet. You need a seamless mobile trust experience.
Mobile first thinking is key. You mentioned above versus below the fold. Can you quickly explain that in this context?
Sure. Above the fold is what you see without scrolling. Put your most critical, attention-grabbing trust elements there. Maybe key badges, review summary, guarantee.
Grab them immediately.
Right. More detailed stuff like full review text or long testimonials can go below the fold. People who are really interested will scroll for more info. But honestly, the best way to know for sure is A/B testing.
Yes. Testing different layouts.
Exactly. Test badge placement, review display formats, see what actually moves the needle for your audience. Don't just guess.
Solid advice. Okay, let's get practical. How does the store owner actually implement all this stuff technically on Shopify? Does it require being a coding wizard?
Thankfully, no, not usually. Shopify makes a lot of this quite accessible. Like we said, the basic SSL security is automatic. You can usually turn on payment icons in your checkout settings easily in the admin panel.
Okay, some basics are covered.
Yeah. And many Shopify themes now have built-in options in the theme customizer, where you adjust colors and layout. You can often add logos, badges, testimonial sections right there, no code needed.
Just using the theme settings.
Exactly. For more specialized stuff, especially reviews and specific badge types, the Shopify App Store is your best friend. We mentioned review apps like Judge.me or Luke's. There are also dedicated Trust Badge apps like TrustBad or Trust Hero.
Apps designed just for this.
Right. They make it super easy. You install the app, configure the settings through its interface, which badges to show, where to put them, and it handles inserting them onto your site, usually without you touching any code.
So apps are a good route for non-coders. What about those third-party badges that give you code snippets?
For those, you might need to dip into the theme code. Go to Online Store Themes Actions Edit Code. Then you'd paste the HTML snippet they provide into the right file. Maybe theme.liquid for site-wide, or product-template.liquid for just product pages.
Okay, a bit more involved, but doable.
Yeah, just be careful. Always duplicate your theme first before editing code so you have a backup if something goes wrong. And after any changes, theme settings, app install, code edit test thoroughly on different browsers and devices. Make sure it looks right and works everywhere.
Backup and test. Got it. Now, we talked about getting reviews. How do you showcase them effectively? Just listing them isn't enough, right?
Right, presentation matters hugely. On the product page, make those star ratings super prominent near the title price. If you have lots of reviews, allow sorting by date, by rating, maybe even filtering by keywords.
Make it easy to find relevant feedback.
Exactly. Offer summaries or highlights if possible, but let people easily access the full text too.
What about on collection pages where you list multiple products?
Definitely show star ratings there too, under each product image. Maybe the number of reviews as well. It gives a quick quality comparison as people browse. Some apps even let you show a tiny snippet of a top review there.
Quick glance social proof. We touched on review integrity, but let's revisit. How do you maintain trust in the reviews?
Key practices here. Always use verified purchase badges if your app supports it. Moderate reviews for obvious spam, but don't delete legitimate criticism.
Transparency again.
Yes, and respond to negative reviews. Publicly, professionally, offering solutions, it shows you care. Also, show review dates so people see they're recent. Displaying the total number of reviews adds weight, too.
Freshness and volume matter. Okay, beyond specific product reviews, what about general customer testimonials? How do they fit in?
Testimonials build broader brand trust. Not just about one product, but the whole experience, shipping, service, overall quality.
Building the brand's reputation.
Exactly. When choosing testimonials, get a variety, highlight different strengths. If possible, use real names and photos with permission, obviously. That adds so much authenticity.
Makes it feel like a real person. Where do these go?
Homepage is great. Your About Us page is perfect. Maybe even a dedicated testimonials or what customers say page if you have enough good ones.
A whole page dedicated to praise. How do you make them really hit home?
Select ones that tell a bit of a story, maybe addressing a common customer concern or highlighting a unique benefit. Arrange them logically. Before and after, stories are powerful if relevant.
Show the transformation.
Right. And don't forget other social proof, too. Case studies work well for B2B or high-value items. Logos of places you've been featured, as seen in. Expert endorsements if you have them. Awards. All contribute to that overall picture of credibility.
Build a layered narrative of trust. Now let's talk user-generated content, UGC. You said it's seen as super authentic.
It really is, because it's not polished marketing. It's real customers in their real lives using your product. That's incredibly relatable and trustworthy.
So what kind of UGC works best?
Customer photos are huge. Video testimonials or unboxings. People tagging your brand on Instagram or TikTok. Before and after pictures, especially for things like skincare, fitness, home decor.
Stuff that shows real results or real use. How do you collect this and use it?
Encourage it. Create a branded hashtag your brand style, and ask customers to use it. Directly ask for photos and post-purchase emails. Offer incentives, maybe feature them on your site, or give a small discount.
Make it worthwhile for them.
Yep. There are apps like 460 or ones from Yotpo that help you pull in and display tagged social media posts right on your site. You can create shoppable galleries where people click a customer photo and go straight to that product page.
Connecting inspiration directly to purchase. Any legal things to watch out for with UGC?
Oh, absolutely. You must get explicit permission before using someone else's photo or video. Some apps help automate requesting rights when people use your hashtag. Have clear terms for any UGC contest or campaign.
Get permission.
Crucial. Non-negotiable. But done right, UGC builds amazing trust and community, turns customers into advocates.
Powerful stuff.
Okay.
We've implemented all these badges, reviews, UGC. How do I know if it's actually working? How do we measure the impact?
Measurement is key to knowing what's effective and where to improve. You need to track your key performance indicators KPIs before and after making changes.
What are the main KPIs to watch?
Your overall conversion rate, what percentage of visitors buy. Your cart abandonment rate, are fewer people ditching their carts? Average order value, are people spending more? Time on site, are they more engaged? And return customer rate, are they coming back?
Tracking those core metrics.
If those numbers improve after you add trust elements, you're likely on the right track.
Can you test specific elements more directly?
Yes, that's where A/B testing comes in again. Test one thing at a time. Create 2 versions of a page, say, one with the security badge near checkout, one without. Show each version to half your traffic.
And see which one converts better.
Exactly. Run the test long enough to get reliable data, usually 2 to 4 weeks. You can test badge placement, review formats, different calls to action. Tools like Google Optimize can help, or some Shopify apps have A/B testing built in.
A scientific approach. Should you look at different customer groups separately?
Definitely. Segmentation analysis is powerful. See if trust elements impact new visitors differently than returning ones, or mobile versus desktop users, or traffic from different sources, like social media versus search.
Why does that matter?
Because maybe social media visitors respond best to UGC, while search visitors care more about security badges. This helps you tailor your trust strategy for different segments, makes it much more effective.
Smart.
Yeah.
Okay, once the basics are covered, are there more advanced trust strategies for stores ready to level up?
Absolutely. You can start combining elements strategically, creating trust clusters, like putting security, payment, and a guarantee badge together in your checkout. Ensure a consistent visual style across all your trust signals.
Make them feel connected.
Right. Another advanced tactic is personalized trust signals, maybe showing location-specific badges or highlighting reviews from shoppers in the same region or demographic.
Using data to make trust more relevant.
Exactly. You can also think about progressive trust building. Don't throw everything at them on the homepage. Introduce brand credibility first, then social proof on product pages, then hard security at checkout, policy reminders and emails. Build trust step by step.
Guide them through it.
And finally, don't underestimate storytelling. Share your founder's story, your company values, your mission, maybe your team. Talk about sustainability or charity efforts if that's part of your brand. That human connection builds deep trust.
Makes the brand feel more real and relatable. Now, what about common mistakes? What pitfalls should people avoid?
Good question. A big one is badge overload. Putting too many badges everywhere just creates noise and dilutes their impact. Stick to 3 to 5 key, recognizable ones per section. Group similar ones.
Less is sometimes more.
Often, yes. Another mistake is using unfamiliar or fake symbols. Stick to well-known ones like Visa, PayPal, Norton. If you use a niche certification, briefly explain it. Never, ever use fake badging.
We covered that big no-no.
Huge. Poor mobile implementation is another common error. Test badges and reviews thoroughly on phones. Ensure they're readable and don't mess up the layout. Maybe hide less crucial ones on small screens.
Prioritize for mobile.
And finally, inconsistency. Your trust messaging and visuals should look and feel the same everywhere: website, emails, ads. Inconsistency breeds suspicion.
Maintain a unified front.
Okay.
Okay, looking ahead now. What are some future trends in building e-commerce trust? Where is this all heading?
It's always evolving. We'll likely see more AI and personalization. Imagine trust signals tailored in real time to your specific concerns as a shopper. AI might summarize reviews intelligently.
Hyper-personalized trust.
Could be. Blockchain might play a role in verifying product authenticity or making review systems tamper-proof. Supply chain transparency.
More verifiable proof?
Yes. And with growing privacy concerns, expect privacy-first trust strategies. Badges highlighting minimal data use, clearer explanations, more user control, trust through respecting privacy.
Turning privacy into a trust signal itself.
Exactly. And as we move towards voice shopping and augmented reality, we'll need new trust indicators for those interfaces, maybe voice confirmations of security or AR try-ons that build product confidence.
Trust in new dimensions. Fascinating. So wrapping this all up, what are the absolute key takeaways for our listeners trying to build trust on Shopify?
I think the core message is trust isn't optional, it's essential. Start with the basics, good security signals, clear payment options, authentic reviews. Place them strategically where people look for them.
Be visible at key moments.
Right. Combine elements thoughtfully. Test and measure everything. Use data, not guesswork. And realize it's an ongoing process. You don't just do trust once.
Keep refining.
Exactly. But investing in trust consistently pays off hugely in conversions, loyalty, and long-term success.
Fantastic summary. Really actionable advice. And folks, if you're ready to put these strategies into action and boost your sales, remember, this deep dive was powered by Growth Suite.
Helps you run those smart discount campaigns.
Precisely. You can try Growth Suite for free on your Shopify store. Just search for it in the Shopify App Store and give it a spin.
Easy to find.
And one final thought to leave you with. As data privacy becomes even more central to consumer concerns, how will that change expectations around transparency and security? What steps can you start taking now on your store to get ahead of that curve and build even deeper, more resilient trust for the future? This has been Conversion Bible.